you know...
Nigeria's #1 citizen.
Of course, he's gone on a working vacation.
In Europe.
He's gone to rest. No, sorry.
They said no rest.
It's not rest. That's why I took that back. It's a working vacation in Europe.
Well, is there anything like working vacation?
So that's the thing. It would be great for Bayo.
Working and vacation.
Yes, it would be great for Bayo Ononuga to tell us what a working vacation is. And the president, for example, has been to France at least 7 times. We often hear he's going for a working vacation, he's going for this. When he's going for business meetings, they are very clear and they tell us he's going to do this, and then we see the outcome. I can run through, I have a list of some of the meetings he's gone for, the trips and the outcomes. The only concern is if you do a comparative analysis to a number of countries around the world, we don't see that level of traveling from their leaders. So when Nigerians talk about it, it's not because they're trying to be petty, because they think at the end of the day, Joe Biden will hardly leave America. You know, he's going to Delaware, or he's going to Camp David. You get, he's going to places within America for his holiday if he has to take his vacation. So I think, I mean, when Bayo Ononuga put out the tweet, and if we have that, we can share that. When he did put out the tweet, the responses to that, we could see people saying, if you're going to be clear with us, be 100% clear, right? Don't give us half, you know, information, piecemeal information. So if you're going to be clear, be 2001% and say the president is going on a working vacation. These are the things he's looking to do whilst away. So we understand what the metrics are. You have KPIs that you're assessing, because for every day that the president is in office, he's been assessed. He's been assessed for how well he's leading, how well his policies are impacting, and when he's on holiday, at least if the president is going to rest, tell us what the president is going to rest. And it will be nice for him to go and rest in, you know, Obukatu Ranch. You could go see Warm Springs and all these other lovely places in Nigeria.
I mean, I agree with you. If he's going on a break, let it just be mentioned that, listen, the president is going on a break, or just simple as ABC, or vacation. But then again, that's the tweet where he says President Bola Tinubu will depart Abuja today, September 4, to commence a working vacation in Europe as part of his 2025 annual leave. Now, this is where I get it confused.
What is a working vacation?
Working vacation, annual leave.
Well, so he has annual leave, but the truth is because the problem of the country, you know, they finish.
So he'll be
there, vacationing and working. It's just like certain people. And now this is a very interesting picture. It's like, Daddy, bye-bye.
Video is
our daddy has gone. So again, Governor Hope Uzodinma, Governor Sanwo-Olu, we understand he's in Lagos. So, okay, he walks him to the airport. But this culture is another thing that people have criticized, that why do we always feel like high-level cabinet members have to leave what they're doing? Don't they have work to do, that they're escorting the president every time, or they're doing a receiving of the president every time?
Lined up. I mean, this is a new norm. We're starting to see.
It's not new. It's been the norm. So yeah, I don't think that is something that would, you know, yeah. So at the end of the day, it's very important to specify what exactly is going on. I think a bit more clarity will be needed. A bit more clarity. And just to mention that the president is allowed to take leave. If he needs to take a break, he needs to take a break, and then he can hand over responsibilities to the vice president. That's why we have a vice president. Vice president should not be a figurehead.
But has the vice president ever taken responsibility since the president has been traveling?
But that's the thing. It feels like the role of the vice president is more figurative, you know, in Nigeria.
Okay, so the waving of the flight now. The question I want to ask: can the president see them from the?
Yeah, he can.
Okay, you can see them as they are waving. Okay.
Well, anyway. Nigerians, of course, I'm sure, are definitely having their thoughts and say about this. And I can only imagine what social media is saying, because it feels like every time that they announce that the president is traveling, Nigerians are upset. Baba has a right to travel. But if he's traveling, if he wants to rest, he should rest. And then hand over work to his deputy.
Simple.
Also, it would be great to have like a clearer picture as to what is happening. If I'm going on work, when I'm on vacation, I mute Breakfast Central group. I don't want to see anything happening in the group. because I'm on vacation. That's how it's
you need to clear your mind.
You need to clear your head.
And just live your life.
Exactly.
Just live.
When you're going on vacation, you are on proper vacation. Don't mix vacation and work. Then you now come back tired. Once you're refreshed, you know, coming back looking like you've been rejuvenated and revived. But let's see what Nigerians are saying. Maybe they have a different thought process. In the last week alone, Nigeria has lost at least 20 lives to truck accidents. In any normal country, that is a national tragedy. But under President Tinubu and the APC, there was no statement, no visit, no mourning, just silence. And then a presidential vacation. How else does someone tell you they don't care about you? Is this a kind of leadership APC wants Nigerians to vote in 2027? Question mark. Well, it's not me that we answer. Nigerians we answer at the polls. Ekutosi Cynthia Nneke says, the president is leaving the country from Abuja, and Governor Sanwo-Olu and Uzodinma would abandon their duties to travel all the way from Lagos and Imo respectively to go give him a handshake and wave his aircraft while he departs. This is so shameful. See, Governor Sanwo-Olu's own, you can explain. What is the explanation for Hope Uzodinma? He left Imo State.
Have you noticed I can't even talk?
I've seen.
I'm shocked.
Sanwo-Olu, you leave your state, go, they wave your papa like say, now your first time to travel be this. Who dig this sky pit for Lagos? Oh, Nigerians is so shady.
Nigerians on social media, eh?
So shady.
The most traveled president, keep flying, Jare. After all, you are bad.
Wow.
BAT stands for Bola Tinubu.
As per BAT flying, that's what the person.
So you see what he did
people are
there.
disrespectful.
Well, of course, that's what he did. They was able to. So, but it's a Bola Tinubu, by the way, which of course is BAT. Yomi Badru says, working vacation, you said, of the 30 days he is entitled to, how many has he taken in the year 2025, and why can't he hand over to his vice instead of a working vacation? And that's one of the questions that everyone seems to be asking. Why can't he just hand over like it's done in other climes? If you need to go for a break, that's why you have a vice. The vice was there for a reason and for a purpose. Is it a taboo for our president to sit still in Nigeria and make things right? Always traveling to Europe. Meanwhile, there is renewed hopelessness. Really? Insecurity and hardship in the country. Can the president sit still and address all these frustrations in Nigeria? I'm tired. King Steph says. And that's what we have, Olive.
Yep. Well, do let us know what you think. Do you think it's not a big deal? I mean, people are just as much ado about nothing. And the president should be allowed to his leave, his working vacation, or is there more to it? Let us know. We're streaming live on YouTube via News Central. You can drop your thoughts in the chat box. But let's now move to another story. Very interesting. There's several reasons why a match can temporarily take a pause. Either one of the players have gotten injured, or they need to do an exchange during the match, or, you know, it's halftime and they need to take a quick break. Or, you know, there needs to be a penalty shootout, so there's like a brief pause while they're making the decisions on who's going to take the,
absolutely,
you know, the free kick or whatever. We have the most interesting reason why a match was halted, and this time around it's because of a swarm of bees. They invaded a pitch in Tanzania, and I know I'm smiling, but it's not a funny story, but it's also a very interesting story that shows the intersection between nature and our human everyday life. So that's the pitch where everybody immediately prostrates. They are prostrating to nature. Everyone sits still because nobody wants to be stung.
See, everybody is going down
very quickly.
See, greet your
Now, this is not the first time that this is happening. We've seen this happen before. There was a Federation Cup match on December 21st, 2019 at Uhuru Stadium in Dar es Salaam, where just 7 minutes into the match, a swarm of bees took over the pitch. Players, officials, and even fans had to take cover. Many lying flat on the ground. Some players were stung, including Yanga star Ali Sonso, who received medical treatment before returning to play. The delay lasted about 10 minutes before the match resumed, and Yanga won that game 4-0. Now, various reports have echoed the same story, confirming that it was a singular event of its kind. However, this happened in 2025 again. We had September 2025, where a preseason international tournament match on September 3rd, 2025 at Kwara Stadium in Babati. In the 77th or 78th minute, a swarm descended onto the field. Players, match officials, and even a camera operator dropped to the ground, substitutes hid under the benches. Miraculously, no one was stung, and the match resumed shortly afterward as City FC Abuja went on to win the match.
I mean, in all of this, shout out to the guy who's still panning the camera. I don't know how he's doing it, but he's taking his time. But he's taking his time to pan the cameras, you know, move from wide to close up.
Exactly.
Possibly using the switcher as well. Seeing cam 1, cam 2, he's going down, who's there, who's lying down, and so on and so forth. But it's one thing to note, especially when you see bees coming onto the pitch. Of
well,
course,
and there are several reasons. I mean, the bees will move in the swarms for several reasons, and it's not really unusual. They move once or twice a year, and the beekeepers will tell you, the experts will tell you that there are several reasons why they move. They're either moving because their hive has been attacked, or they're moving that they're relocating. They're looking for a new home. And in that moment, typically, they would say that when the hive is moving, they're not dangerous, so long as you don't attack. So don't make a lot of... So I actually went online to look for what to do when you see a beehive. And part of what was said to be done is do not attack. Do not make a loud noise. Just be quiet. And they're typically not aggressive. They don't feel the need to defend themselves because you're not attacking them. If you now want to, you know, the way we typically do,
show yourself.
Want to show yourself, maybe you want to stone them, you want to throw water, spray water at them, whatever you see, you collect. And then one of the things I had seen when I looked online as to how to protect yourself would be, if you feel like maybe you've attacked them or you mistakenly walked into them and they're now attacking you, run. Run in a straight line. Don't run in a...
zigzag.
No, don't do zigzag.
I think you're supposed to run in the zigzag rather than a straight line.
No, straight line, actually. That's what I saw online. And they said don't jump into the water. That if you jump into the water, they're going to wait on the surface of the water. That they can stay on the surface of the water. When you come out, it's going to be a bad thing. But yeah, that's just a very interesting video that we saw there. Again, shows the interactions between nature and our human existence, and the fact that there has to be some form of peaceful coexistence. It's why we see a lot of more people advocating, interestingly, more for animals. They think that if it wasn't a bee, if it was somewhere in the West, maybe in other developed climes, haven't you seen all those videos where people will be in their houses and a bear will walk into the kitchen and then they'll say it's good for them? Why do you go and build house near their houses that you should actually... I see some of these comments where they say, oh, I wish this world was full of animals. I wish all humans will go and animals will remain. I see a number of these comments and I'm like, must be nice.
But what happens in Nigeria mostly?
No. Nigerians, I don't think that Nigeria is very... Unfortunately, I don't think that we're as warm to animals as we should be.
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate because it's why you would see people who would rescue those really mighty,
sharks,
humongous
like recently
fishes,
there were fishes.
And instead of letting them back into the sea, or maybe taking, I don't know, or taking them to some, but just basically letting them back into the sea, they will hardly do that. They are rejoicing. They are already killing them and looking for
knife, that guy's out, everything
for meat or for flesh that they would sell. So we're not. Again, it might be because of poverty, but also because people are very uninformed.
I think it's also a lack of education.
Yes, people are very uninformed.
Understand that everything that comes out of the water is not food, and then there's something about wildlife, humanity, and so on. But let's see reactions.
If you see a lion, for example, a baby lion, I will not keep a baby lion. I will find a way, even if yes, at that point it's not something that can attack me, right? I will find a way to get it to a zoo, somewhere that they can reintegrate it back into the forest where it should be. But a number of these things many people don't know about, again, because we don't seem to prioritize animals as much as we should.
Maybe because we're telling too much hunter stories of the past.
I don't think it's that. I don't know what it is, but anyway, let's see what the reactions are to the bee incidents.
I want these bees at Old Trafford. Jesus
Christ. My goodness. Why are you doing this thing now? Man, you fans, we are not violent. This one says, B, ignore the fans.
Yes, that picture, if you look at the picture,
wanted to sting the players only.
If you look at that, you see a place where all the fans were seated as if nothing was going on, while the bees just focused only on the pitch. You take a look at that picture, can you see them?
Yeah,
all seated,
I can see
relaxed. Nothing is going on according to them.
Very
but,
interesting.
The bees just came, only on the pitch. Anyway, let's go back to the tweets. This one says, "There's thief."
There's a thief among people who is in the field, but for the bees not to identify the thief,
that means
none of them are clean either. I don't understand. This one is probably attaching some spiritual connotation.
Village people,
The target person for live TV, valid. Facts. It's not village people anything. Tumbling Fire says, bees stopping a football match in Tanzania. That's a plot twist no one saw coming. Absolutely. Well, just to, mention there that if you ever see a bee, a swarm, stay calm, keep your distance, do not disturb them. Call local authorities or beekeepers. I don't know if we have beekeepers in Nigeria. No, we do have beekeepers. We just don't know a lot of. How can I say that?
We do.
How can I say that? Because my dad, who is he's an educational, he's an expert. He's a doctor, and his department is in wildlife and forestry. I remember then he used to actually go into the forest. He would wear I've forgotten what their outfit is. They go to harvest honey and all that. So yes, we do have beekeepers and people who also shout out to you, Daddy. Anyway, I hope you're watching.
It's just to break things a little. Let's move on to another wake-up conversation now.
This one is very sad.
Go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
It's got to do with Revelation. There's a new revelation in town.
And when he says revelation, we don't mean the last book in the Bible.
Olive, calm
Go
down.
ahead.
Binga is not here. Calm down. Anyway, let's quickly tell Nigerians that the governor, a very popular governor, has come out to say that if he's given the opportunity, it will take him less than 2 months to clear all bandits, especially in the north, particularly in his state. Now, let's quickly break the story down for you so that you can quickly understand what we're saying. The video emerged yesterday, and the video has caused a lot of reactions on social media. Everyone is starting to talk about why is it that this statement was made now, and why is it that this statement was made at a time when Nigerians have been asking the federal government, is it possible to ensure the safety and lives of every single citizen in the country? But let's tell you very quickly that Zamfara governor has said that he knows the bandits' hideout, but he's not able to do anything because he doesn't have a direct, he can't give directions to the security operatives in the state. Rather, he understands that the directive only comes from the federal government in Abuja. And in this video, unfortunately, it's we didn't get the transcribed one, the translator yet. So he's actually speaking in Hausa, and then where he made mention of the fact that even on his mobile device, he can show you where the bandits are currently in Zamfara State, and he knows when they go out and when they come in. However, he knows how to wipe them out completely, but he cannot do so because he does not have the powers to control the security operatives. That the powers only come from the Federal Capital Territory.
And you know why this is very concerning? Because Nigeria has had a struggle with insecurity, and if the governor of Zamfara State, Sadauda Lawal, comes out to say that he knows the hideouts of these terrorists, and if given the authority, he would deal with insecurity. He said his people are bleeding and that his heart is aching at the fact that he can't do anything about it. Why this hurts is also because in recent time, Malam Nasir El-Rufai also granted an interview where he made reference to the fact that the federal government is complicit in the fight against Boko Haram, saying that what he will not do is to feed terrorists or send them allowances. You know that in Nigeria we've had what they would refer to as a non-kinetic approach to fighting terrorism, where we've even seen them many times reintegrating terrorists back into the society, de-radicalizing them, reintegrating them back into the society. So what he's inferring is that this terrorists, through the office of the National Security Advisor, are being sent food, sent supplies, given monthly allowance, a claim that ONSA has largely disregarded. They've said it's not true, but he's standing by his statement. So again, it points a lot of fingers to the federal government in this fight against insecurity, and how well the federal government has to defend itself. You know, how true are these statements? If these public figures, these people who are influential persons within Nigeria's government, come out to say that they either know about where these terrorists are, or they know that they're being fed monthly, they're being given allowances, it brings again back to the surface the importance that Nigeria as a government, the Nigerian government has attached to the fight against insecurity, and how well we prioritize the well-being of the Nigerian people. Maybe the silver lining would be President Tinubu's stance on state police. Maybe that will help.
But this is the second time we're having this indictment come in less than a month. Yeah, within a month.
Because it was today's how many? It was on the 1st of September.
Yeah, the embattled politician Nasser El-Rufai saying that he understands that the government takes care. They know where the bandits are. They take care of them. They're paid.
This is not the first time that we.
And then you have another person coming out now. One thing I also noticed was that people were saying a few persons, not generally, but a few persons on social media were saying because he is of the PDP. So that's why he's making such statements. And some are also linking it to the fact that Nasser El-Rufai has fallen off with the president and, of course, APC. And that's why they're coming to talk. But the point is, if a governor makes such a strong statement, to remember that the army, the military did respond to Nasser El-Rufai's claims and saying, no, that's not true, that's not actually, it's not right, it's not correct, it's wrong. And you have another governor this time of Zamfara State coming out to say something similar and therefore claiming that he can show you on his mobile phone. My expectation, starting from today up until, let's give it till maybe Tuesday, we hope that maybe the security operatives will now swing into action, possibly call him, invite him. We want to hear that and say, okay, fine, prove this to us. And then let's see if they will do anything about it. I mean, because it's quite sad. If it's true, Olive, then it goes ahead to support the statements that have been made either in the past or that have been made by these certain persons who have claimed that, listen, the insecurity system or insecurity that is happening in the north or in the middle belt is something that is known by the federal government, according to these individuals. So it's something they need to look into. Again,
there are those who have, it has also sparked certain reactions, and people who are asking if Sadaud Lawal is saying this as an excuse, if it's given an excuse, because part of what he was promising, during the campaign days, were that he'll deal with insecurity. So they're wondering, is this part of an excuse? Every time we've talked about the insecurity challenges here on the show, there are certain people, for example, security analyst Oyekachi Adekoya, who joins us on the show regularly, always says that the bulk rests on the responsibility of the governors, that they are the chief security officers of the state, yet they may not be able to convert.
Well, he says he's handicapped now.
The army, that they may not be able to command, that they have...
the police.
No, they may not have control, but they don't have command, but they have control. And that there's a difference. You should be able to know the difference. And the truth is, if they need things done, they'll get things done. So I'm really glad that the conversation about state police is kicking into full effect, and it's coming to the fore. Because then, what will be the excuse?
Will it really change anything?
It will change a lot of things. It will change a lot of things because before now, it was very easy to push all the blame to Mr. President and say, oh, the federal government this, federal government that. And yes, the federal government may very well be culpable in a number of these actions or a number of these inactions. But then when it has been decentralized, citizens will then be fully aware to know that when there's a state of insecurity in your state, hold on to your governor. Hold on to the governor. Anyway, let's hear what Nigerians think about this. They're reacting on social media, and let's hear their thoughts on this subject matter. Now, Daniel Rega says, a sitting governor is powerless to combat bandits in his own state, but the case won't be the same when it's time to silence peaceful protesters. If there's an ongoing protest in Zamfara State that gains momentum, the governor will likely be quick to act. That's speaking from the pains of NSAS and the subsequent protests. Pat Smart says, but we cannot act because we don't have the power. This implies that state governors do not have operational control over the security agencies within their jurisdictions and are unable to mobilize them independently to tackle banditry. Our next tweet is we have another tweet. Kumi Adelokiki says Nigeria is the only country that negotiates with and rehabilitates terrorists. Allegedly, elements within our military are backing them, and one of their early masterminds sits in How
sure are you?
Alakubao. Anyway, let's move on from this tweet to another tweet. It says, if a sitting governor admits he knows where bandit leaders are, but has no power to act, what hope is left for ordinary citizens? This is either an indictment of weak governance or a confession of helplessness in the face of terror. By
Olive, I tell you that this statement. Anyway, let's wrap this one up.
Enugu First Son says, Tinubu should sign that bill on state police immediately. Well,
you know, to be honest, this is a very strong indictment. When it came from a former governor, we can say that the weight it carried, it was heavy, but this is different from a current sitting governor of a state who only did not just say it. He called the press conference and he held his phone high and said, I can prove it. That's like the strongest indictment ever. So I'm hoping that the security chiefs would actually stand up now and possibly call for a meeting and let Nigerians know what the outcome is. Because let me also say here that in his statement, he said that he does not have control. It comes from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. And we do understand that that's where you have the office of the security chiefs, right there in Abuja. So if he can't control them as a state governor by telling them that, listen, you need to go out there and ensure that you guarantee safety or attack, this is where they are, it means that he doesn't have clearance. But that's according to him. So let's wait for the security chiefs to actually react to that story. It's indeed a very interesting one because it's still trending online. Nigerians are reacting to it on social media. Everyone is talking about it and saying, how come this is like a repetition of what was said a few weeks ago and nobody's taking account of what's really happening? How true is it? Or is it just as a result of being a political jibe? Because one, many are saying, since you belong to an opposition party, you will do everything to rubbish the current ruling party. But
it's not about this one. Is we should move beyond politics.
Quite different.
It's the lives of Nigerian citizens
tie politics to
that are at stake. The Nigerian citizens we deserve to feel safe. People deserve. While we're here talking, there are people in the Yelwata community who have not yet recovered from the back-to-back blows that they're dealing with.
No
Some people have been in the IDP camps and don't even have a dream of when they would be able to return to regular life, having their own homes. So insecurity should be on the top burner. Dealing with insecurity should be a priority and should be on the top burner of this government.